Jay Bills from Media Spotlight UK, and I'm here with one and only Gio in the building, Logan Paul's editor. I've always seen you at all these events. And it's nice to actually get you in front of the camera for once. I mean, how's everything for you as, let's just start off with being Logan Paul's editor. Like, if you give me a brief idea for the audience, like how that even came to be for you.
Okay, so basically I've worked in the YouTube scene for about 6 years now. Most people know me because I worked with True Geordie. I did 4.5 years with True Geordie, and then after that I decided I wanted to do something new. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, but then the Logan job came up. I applied for it on a whim, and for the past year I've been working with Logan. So this is the first time I've been with Logan whilst he's in a fight camp. I wasn't there for the KSI fights, obviously. I wasn't there for the Mayweather fight. So this has been very interesting with all the Dillon Danis stuff going on. Like, it's been hard to know really what to go at Dillon with, but it's a difficult one. It's tricky, yeah.
I mean, of course, obviously, like, you know, you've been with Logan from the beginning since you've applied and you got through to him. You know, what's it been like, you know, being around someone of a high caliber, you know, like celebrity, YouTuber, influencer, whatever you want to call it? How does it feel to be in the presence of someone that's that big and is doing big things like for so long now? Yeah,
it's interesting because obviously working in the YouTube scene for 6 years, I've come across a lot of sort of like big names, big personalities, big quote unquote celebrities. But you know this, you know, you've interviewed a lot of them. These are just normal guys, you know, and we've all got the common objective is to make like the best content we can possibly make. So Logan's no different. I mean, me and Logan rarely see each other in person. Since I've started working with him, we've only actually met up once. I was very lucky to be invited to Money in the Bank when he did the wrestling in London, which was incredible, by the way. So that was the only day this year that I've actually, you know, got to see him face to face. I'm hoping to see him today, but we're mainly remote. But they're just normal guys, man. That's all it is, you know.
I mean, you know, what's your perspective on like everything that's been going on, like, you know, between Dillon Danis and Logan Paul? You know, obviously the lawsuit that have been put forward towards Danis. Obviously now we see that Danis is here. You know, we've still got a few days before the fight. I mean, anything can happen, but it looks like it's going forward. From your perspective, going in and seeing all of this, like, what do you make of all of it?
Listen, all's fair in love and war. Obviously, Dillon is smart in the extent, in the sense of he like knew this was going to build hype, and it has. Like, ultimately, Logan versus Dillon has become more anticipated now than KSI versus Tommy Fury. That's not an opinion, that's just facts. Like, more people want to see how that fight ends than KSI Tommy Fury. People are talking about this beyond the fight world. This is getting into politics and things like that. Like, actual, like, real-life conversations are happening as a result of the build-up and the drama. How has it affected me and what are my thoughts of it? I feel like Nina should never have been brought into it to the extent that she has been. She's obviously a third party in this. She's nothing to do with the fight itself. Dillon obviously had all these things to go at Logan for, which he did, you know, all of these many controversies. But for whatever reason, he's found what I call a free money glitch in Nina, whereas he can tweet anything he wants about Nina, say anything he wants, and people will jump onto it. But I think he's gone too far in a few aspects. I mean, the odd photo, like the public photos, is all fine. But when you start bringing private stuff public, and when you start, you know, making like derogatory comments and just also false statements about her, like saying about STDs and things like that, then you're crossing a line where there actually is real consequences. Like, we've got to be honest, Nina's like reputation has been irreversibly, potentially damaged, like for life as a result of this, you know? So she has to have a way of getting some reparation from that, and the lawsuit is that. And a lot of people are making the assumption that it's Logan suing Dillon, when actually it's Nina suing Dillon. You know, Logan is not really involved too much in that. Yeah, obviously, like, Dillon is a villain. Dillon is a villain, and he always has presented to be himself like that. But the problem is he's brought Nina in too much, and I feel like he's gone a bit too far there. And yeah, the lawsuit's a different thing. Like, I kind of wish he wasn't getting sued, but it's happening.
That's just an added layer to the drama that's already been built up.
Exactly.
I mean,
I couldn't sit there with Nina and convince her not to sue Logan. Like, she's well within her rights to sue, and I understand if I was Nina, I'd probably do the same. But just for the sake of like being sued and stuff, I don't know if I fully agree with it.
Yeah. Do you think that obviously with everything that's been going on, like, you know, we were just speaking off camera, like how Logan is still like pushing forward and being able to focus at the job at hand, even though the, you know, innocent third parties come into it? How do you see that, how Logan's been able to keep calm and keep steady throughout this whole process? Because if I were me, I would be a pissed off man and start swinging arms like more than that.
Well, here's the thing. you and I have never got the amount of criticism, the amount of hate that Logan has had throughout his career. Sure. You've got to remember, like, he has faced huge controversies. Obviously, everyone knows about the Suicide Forest controversy. Right now, Logan's in a position where he's getting a lot of heat from, let's be honest, Twitter incels, you know, people on Twitter that don't really do anything, that are just sort of like a minority. Whereas when the Suicide Forest thing happened, Logan was getting hate from the entire world. The pressure that comes from that is far greater than what anything Logan has dealt with recently with Dylan. So the pressure's not going to get to Logan. Like, Logan's gone through way worse. And everyone thinks the emotions are going to affect him on fight night. He's going to look across the ring and see someone that's been relentlessly going at his girlfriend or fiance and want to take his head off. I'm sure he will be able to do that. But Logan is like, yes, man. Logan has dealt with pressure before, and I don't think this is going to affect him really that much.
So, I mean, if we're talking now predictions, I mean, obviously, you know, I know he's your boy and stuff like that, but if we're looking at the perspective, like, say if you're an outsider looking in, like, how would you, I know it's difficult, but how would you look at the fight in terms of prediction? How do you see it going for a fight night?
So, obviously, I want Logan to win. I want Logan to finish him. And I do believe that's going to happen because there is absolutely nothing when it comes to combat sports, when it comes to boxing, any physical attributes, any asset that Dylan has that presents any challenge for Logan at all. Logan has the experience. Obviously, like, you know, Dylan's been training martial arts longer, but he's a BJJ specialist, you know what I mean? All of his work is on the ground. His striking is bang average. He's never ever showed in any of his sparring, in anything, like any technical skill to be able to challenge Logan at all. Logan has the experience, Logan has the power, Logan has all the physical attributes, he has the better reach, he's taller. Like, what does Dylan have? He actually has nothing. So, that all being said, I think Logan gets it done within 2 rounds.
All right, well, and then final few predictions since we'll run down the card. Let's start with KSI versus Tommy Fury. Like, where are you looking at for this? It's
so hard because obviously this comes down to, and it's going to be a boring answer, you know, it's the head and heart thing. Yeah. I think the likelihood is over 6 rounds, if JJ isn't able to stop Tommy will probably be winning these rounds and picking up the rounds. Now, the difference between the difference between KSI fighting Tommy and Tommy fighting Jake is Jake versus Tommy was a boxing match. This is not going to be a boxing match. JJ is going to turn this into a brawl, and Tommy is never going to have a fight like this, you know, where someone's coming forward with not behind a jab, with these wild shots, with this wild stamina, with this wild gas tank that JJ has, and JJ has, in my opinion, the hardest hit in the hardest punch in the influencer scene. If JJ lands on Tommy, he absolutely can knock him out. I'm going to be supporting JJ all the way. From the first bell, I'm going to be cheering on JJ. But my head is obviously leaning towards Tommy Fury.
Okay, all right, okay, I hear you. Okay, and then let's quickly run down the rest of the card. Dean versus Waleed.
You know what? This is a very close fight. I just rewatched the Dean versus Waleed first fight last night. The best fight in Misfits history. From a technical aspect, it's probably going to be one of the best technical fights of the night. I think Waleed has got a chip on his shoulder. He's got a point to prove, and he's been active. He's had some impressive knockouts since that loss, and I think he's got a point to prove, and he's going to get it done. Waleed probably gets a finish.
Anthony Taylor versus King Kenny.
Very tough fight, obviously. You know what? I'm going to go with Kenny for this. I feel like Anthony Taylor is similar to Tommy Fury in the way of being this sort of influent pro boxer in the scene that has a target on his back. And there is going to be a point, in my opinion, where one of these influencers, like King Kenny, goes in there and beats Anthony Taylor. So I think that's going to happen this weekend, yeah.
Astrid Wet versus Alexia Grace.
Astrid Wet all day. I'm sorry, but like, Alexia, I saw her on the pads before. Alexia, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but she didn't look great. Astrid has the experience, has the ability. She's going to smash her. Easy.
Ryan Taylor versus Swarms, rematch.
It's a really tough one for me, this, because Swarms looked really good in the pads before. I was leaning towards Ryan Taylor. As I said before about Waleed, he's got a point to prove. Swarms broke man's retina. We knew that happened, so I don't know. I'm leaning towards Ryan Taylor just because he's got the dog in him, bro. He's got the dog in him.
And I think the final one, Los Pinedas Caladas versus Nick Elameo and Alex Wasabi.
Vamos, Los Pinedas Caladas! That's my answer.
Trust me. Well, Gio, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me.
One of the best of the scene. One of the best of the scene.
Thank you. Oh, don't say that. You're going to make me blush.
One of the hardest workers, bro. He does it all himself. Edits it all himself. Does them all himself. He's the best, bro.
Well, from an editor to another. Oh, we got even Minicon in the building.
Just Coochie butter.
All right. Well, been a pleasure always, and I wish you all the best. I know you're going to be rooting for Logan, but wish you all the best in general, man. Like, keep up the hard work, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much.
All right.